What is up, you all? This is Austin Pegram here with the Fitness That Fits You podcast, head coach and owner of Fitness That Fits You, coming to you today with an episode that is journey related. Okay, episode 5, you all. Episode 5, cranking up here racking up about 69, 70 downloads after starting this. So that's really freaking cool. I'm trying to get to 100. Okay. Today on this particular episode, we're following along the journey of a client of mine. This client is extremely awesome. I've been with her for close to a year now. And I've actually known her for longer than that. Close friends. She and I used to play soccer together on the co-ed Mockingbird soccer team. We still play like once a year when I'm not being a loser. Why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself, please?
Okay. You are a loser sometimes. I'm Ravin Bryant, and I'm 35, and I've known Austin for quite a while now. So when he started this journey, I was really excited to see him do it.
Awesome.
Yep.
Okay, so this is Ravin Bryant, you all. Let me just give you a little background on Ravin Bryant. So Ravin, what was the name of the co-ed soccer team we were playing for again?
Waka Flocka Soccer.
Waka. I of course remember the name of it. I just wanted you to say it. So Waka Flocka Soccer, and we were wearing what was it like? It was lime green, right? The lime green, the t-shirt.
That's now somebody's crop top.
Yeah. Yeah. I gave that to SJ, the owner of Swept in the Studio. I gave that to him because he didn't have a crop top for the first crop top Saturday. He didn't have his crop top, so it was like, all right. I mean, you know, I got to do something here. I got to help my boy out. So I gave him the shirt. And he turned it into a crop top, and it's been a hit ever since.
Well, that's fun.
Yeah. How did you know that though? Oh, posts.
Pictures.
Yeah. Okay. But yeah, so Ravin and I, we first developed a relationship on the soccer team, Waka Flocka Soccer. I was in a long what do you call it? What do you call it? A long denounced, or like done, or just looking for a word to show, like to say in the past, just a relationship that is long
entanglement.
Long time ago. But yeah, so an entanglement, if you will, that luckily I untangled myself from. But yeah, so, and that is, she was actually friends. She was already friends with you all, or already playing soccer with you all. How did she meet you all?
I think one of the guys we played with actually coached her. So, yeah.
Okay, I remember now. I won't say her name. What was his name?
BJ.
Okay, got it. Yeah. So he was her coach at some point, and then that's how they knew each other. And I was dating her at the time. I was entangled with her at the time, that is. And she introduced me to these fine group of people. We all played soccer together, and that was fun. That was very fun. Co-ed soccer, y'all, was great. It was, honestly, Ravin, it like wasn't like anything that I was new to, because I had been playing soccer for co-ed soccer for Brown like all my life. So, well, 4 years of my life, freshman year through sophomore year through senior year. So, I mean, I was used to that. So I was like, cool, you know, I'll go ahead and play, you know, and I think it ended up being like pretty fun. Like, we all had fun together. But yeah, so that's where I met Ravin. Ravin is like super duper intense. But of course, I mean, that's what you want. Of course, in a friend and a woman, to be strong and powerful on the soccer field. That's what I'm talking about. But so we met each other there. That was like years and years ago. And then just over the course of the last few years, everything from careers to children to different relationships, just life, you kind of move away from that, doing it so often, but it's still like kind of there. You've still been playing.
I still play.
We'll be diving into that a little bit today for more than one reason. But anyway, okay, so to move on from soccer, that's essentially how we met. But I kind of wanted to just I have Ravin on the show today to address her journey, her fitness journey. Okay, she is a client of mine, as previously mentioned, and the same way I had Miss Genesis Young on the show last week, I kind of want to make sure that I am touching on different clientele and having their journey shared, because it's important, considering the fact that people around, listeners, people around the world, people around the city, they all kind of have their own journey and their challenges they've met in the way of, reaching their goal, whether it be weight loss or muscle gain or whatever you want to say, performance goal, et cetera, et cetera. And Ravin has had a very interesting journey. Interesting because she's been very, very successful from start to finish. Okay. And that's always something you want to pinpoint on, because you want to kind of flock to those sorts of individuals. So Ravin had a knee surgery. And I'm going to let you talk a little bit about your knee surgery. I just want to give them some insight on how we came to be fitness partners. But okay. Ravin had a knee surgery, and she reached out to me about potentially training her once she was back in a place of, being able to go back to active, playing and or just recreational activity. And so I want to say months later, after she reached out, I was doing my part to reach out to individuals that had previously inquired about services, and I hadn't closed them or gotten in touch with them. Ravin was on that list. So I got in touch with Ravin, and she was like, "Oh yeah, let's do it. Let's give it a go." So she comes into the gym. We have our initial kind of like consultation. We kind of talk about how we're going to do things, talk about her direction, nutrition, all of the above, some strategies, et cetera, et cetera. Then we get on with our training. Now, with our training, you know what? Before we even go into that, let's talk about you, Ravin. So tell me, we'll come back to this. I am putting a pin in that because we will definitely come back to this. So your knee injury, because this will give people context of where you're coming from. Okay. So your knee injury, tell me, or tell us, what kind of knee injury was that? What kind of surgery was that? What kind of recovery, extensive recovery was that, process, all of that? Let's get some insight on that.
Okay. So I had my initial knee injury the first week of January in 2019. I was playing soccer, got taken out by my own goalie somehow.
Damn.
So yeah, I tore my ACL and my lateral and medial meniscus.
Jesus.
I had surgery the end of January 30th of 2019 to repair it all. Everything went good. I get home, the doctor calls me. He says, "Well, we actually broke your tibia while we were in there. So I need you to come in tomorrow and I have to redo the entire surgery."
That's ridiculous.
So within 24 hours, I had 2 ACL surgeries and a broken tibia. It was great. But it's probably the worst pain I've ever felt in my life. And I can take a lot of pain.
Yeah.
But the recovery was so intense. Like, my physical therapist was like, "I'm going to quit after you," because I would be in tears. They would have to pull, yank, jerk my knee. I had zero range of motion. It was horrible. So it was fun times.
Okay, so tell me, what was your recovery like? Like how long did you have to? Like, how long was your recovery expected to last?
So they wanted me to do physical therapy for 6 months, and then after that, they said I could probably start doing everything on my own. Why are you laughing at me?
Sorry, I'm not, Raven. I'm not laughing at you. So please don't forget where you were. Okay. So if you've listened to my podcast, then you know that sometimes there's some background noise, and it's because I don't have like a professional. I'm not there yet. A professional style like software, like setup. So like there's a lot of noise in the background. So me sitting in a leather chair causes noise. Me walking on the floor causes noise. Me breathing causes noise. And so Becca was like walking in the background, and it was just, then she like sat down like real slow in the chair so it wouldn't move. So anyway, so I couldn't help but laugh. Okay, I apologize though. I'm with you. Go ahead. So you'll hear that. We'll hear that in the podcast, and but anyway, go ahead. You're good, baby. Go ahead.
Anyway.
She just dropped the cup too. She dropped the cup and ran out.
Oh my God, I feel like we're at a training session right now.
I know. There's a lot of craziness going on. That's okay. The listeners will get a good, authentic idea of what home life and training life is like. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. So after 6 months of physical therapy, they were saying that I could do physical therapy pretty much on my own and get back to soccer.
Okay.
Sounds like a great plan to me. After 6 months, I quit physical therapy because they were getting me nowhere. And that was about the time, maybe a little bit after that you reached out to me. Be quiet.
Hey, Remy. So you all, we are, I don't know if Raven, I may have forgotten to mention that, but you're at Remy's soccer practice right now, right?
Yes.
Yeah, late night soccer practice. She's picking up Remy, you all. So there may be a young female adolescent voice that you hear in the background. Okay. If not, cool. If so, it is what it is. This is that mom life, which we're going to get into also. Okay. All right, go ahead.
Absolutely. So, I think after about 6 months of the physical therapy, I just decided I was done with it because they weren't getting me anywhere new with my rehabilitation and getting back to weightlifting, getting back to running and soccer that I wanted to do. And I think that's about the time that I started reaching out to you, I believe, to figure something out and train and get my knee where it needed to be.
Yeah. See, that's weird to me. I'm not a physical therapist or anything, but for the most part, what I've heard is like 8 months.
Yeah.
And that's for like a high level athlete. So, for them to say 6 months for you, I think it's a little weird. Maybe, I don't know. I don't know, but I'm not like the professional in that sense. So like, I don't want to speak on that too much, but okay. All right. So yeah, so you and I got in touch with each other. And then when we first started, when we kind of initiated our trainer client relationship, you were still having some acute symptoms. Were things pretty chronic at that point? Had you, what talk about that?
Yeah, I mean, I was still having a lot of pain in my knee. I still didn't have the range of motion that I wanted to play soccer, and just still a lot of pain in it, and there was no strength in it. I couldn't retain any muscle, any strength, and it was my left leg, and that's my shooting leg, my passing, everything I do with my left leg, and so it was quite frustrating.
Right.
So.
Okay. Yeah. So, all right. So wait. So your left leg is the one you shoot and pass with.
Yeah.
So.
And I literally have 0 right foot, so that wasn't going to do anything for me.
So okay. So this is kind of a digression a bit, but so for me, like I'm like dominantly right footed. So like when I'm going to play, if I'm going to pass or kick or pass or shoot or whatever you want to say, I stabilize my left, and and that's like the only way I can. I mean, not the only way. I'm just not very good at stabilizing my right and kicking on my left because my right is my dominant foot. But it's like a weird it's like a weird thing, right? You would think that my left foot may in that aspect be dominant because I'm far more stable on that leg. And while my like motor control and coordination with my right foot is a little bit better, like if I tried to stabilize my right, it isn't going to happen. That's why my left foot is like shit, because I can't stabilize my right. So anyway, so I'm bringing that up because you said you're left footed, but stabilization with your right foot is tough. Is that what I'm hearing?
I mean, it's not tough. It just never felt right after that.
Okay, good. All right. So yeah, I was just like dissecting that. I wanted to I got a little too over analytical there. But okay, cool. All right. So yeah, nothing was feeling good. Okay. So you came in and we were kind of still feeling those things. Now, that was something that we obviously wanted to pinpoint, to kind of focus on when we started training, and we did that effectively. But now we're coming back to the pin here that we put in. Okay. So in that first session, in addition to working on some specific knee bending, quad strengthening, single leg stabilization exercises, we also put you through like some, just some traditional like maintenance level strength training and some conditioning work. And I think you did a great job. Yeah,
I don't think so.
no, you did a great job. But you most people, you almost had
Died?
a little throw up session.
Almost. I still maintain that I did not throw up.
Yeah, I mean, look, we've been going back and forth about this since day one. I remember specifically going into the bathroom after you that day and seeing a little bit of throw up on the toilet seat.
Shit.
You can say it, yeah. I was gonna say
bullshit. No.
I marked the little thing for explicit content, so you can say shit.
Okay, good.
Yeah. Okay, cool. All right, well, hey, that's just a battle that's we'll still be battling about that over the years. But okay, so you came in, and regardless of whether you threw up or not, who knows, you have always been an individual that can take it, really put forth some energy and some effort and bounce back and be ready again tomorrow. That's one thing that's always been really good about working with you as a trainer, working with the client. So I kind of wanted to touch base with you, or rather, kind of let the people hear about like your journey in the way of the kind of challenges that you meet. Because I personally, when I'm working with you and we're talking about your food and we're talking about your fitness, I don't see you meeting a ton of challenges. And I say that because when you put your mind to it, you absolutely meet your goals. So in the beginning of our training session, you had specific training relationship. You had specific event goals. Typically it's been about an event, like you've got something that you're going to do. And so you want to be ready for that event. And so we work with some nutritional strategy, working with some carb cycling around workouts, some cycling away from carbohydrates, away from workouts when you're not needing them, and things like that. And so, and as a result, you ended up getting some pretty cool results just in the start of that, right?
Yeah.
And so that's one thing that's been great. You've always been really good at doing that. And even so, just recently we had our 3-week challenge, weight loss challenge, and it was based on percentage of weight loss. And in those 3 weeks, you lost 7 pounds.
Yes, I did. Whoop, whoop.
Yes, you did. Whoop, whoop. And you did it safely too. We kind of worked with a descending meal plan there for you to like kind of decrease your calorie intake, but you were eating more often. And so in addition to that, you were also training, of course, and then just being smart about your sleep and your eating outside of the meal plan if there ever was any deviation. And based on your weight loss and your freaking before and afters, man, you did some pretty cool work. Okay. And that's been a consistent thing for you the entire time. So for me, it's like, all right, as a trainer, I know that everyone has their challenges, but I've only seen you succeed. So on the back end, there's got to be something that you're meeting. You're a mom of 2 children. There's got to be something that's getting in the way. I know that there are a couple of extracurricular activities that you particularly like to partake in. I'll let you explain that. And then, between soccer and your knee, like there's a ton of things, and your sedentary job, it requires you to sit at a desk all day. Like you've got things stacked up against you. And not necessarily in a positive way, but just like in the way of being physical and creating energy throughout the day, you've got things that could be stopping you. So let's start with the mom. Let's start with you being a parent. How does that challenge you in your goals?
So, I mean, especially now that we're, everyone is struggling through COVID, so it makes it a little bit more tough, especially if you have kids at home. So, helping with schoolwork, and then now it's soccer season, so we have practice 4 days a week. Then we have games on weekend, and that can be anywhere from 2 games to 6 games. So we're always on the go, and it's hard to like plan your meals because like, what are we going to eat tonight? You get home at 9:00 at night, should already be getting ready for bed, not eating dinner.
Right.
So it's tough just to stay motivated that way, because knowing when I get off work or during work, I'm helping them do something. I'm like worried about getting to the gym or getting something healthy in my body, and just, I mean, it's hard.
Right. Okay. So you're just kind of like, even with those things happening, you know that you have to, what's going in your head mentally that pushes you, because that's really what's stopping people, right? When they meet those challenges, is their mental drive, their emotional response to those things. How are you like responding to those obstacles as a parent? Hey, and don't forget, you can brag on yourself now. Brag on yourself.
I mean, I don't know. It's tough. It's hard. Well, I don't like to brag. Anyway,
I haven't had one training session with you where it's like I like, where it's like every training session I feel like I need to give you something more, because I know that like you will meet that challenge. So like, to me, there's a mental toughness that you have. So to you, it may not seem like an outer, like an external thing that you need to speak on. To you, it probably just seems like an instinctual thing that you just do as a mother and as someone who's been athletic your entire life. But it really is an awesome thing, an awesome trait to have. Not everyone has that. So if you can dig in there, let me hear what you got. You can do it. Dig in there.
I mean, honestly, anymore, my drive comes from just keeping up with the kids.
Okay.
Like, I want to be young. I want to be healthy. Like, I want my kids to always be like, oh, my parents were fun. They're loving. We were always doing stuff together. Like, I want to keep that energy. And like, my entire family plays soccer. I want to always be able to play soccer with them as long as I can, or basketball. And so that is a lot of drive for me.
Who's playing basketball?
Beckham does.
Oh, hey, okay.
So, just, and I want to look good. You gotta keep it spicy, right?
That's right. You gotta keep that shit spicy. You damn right. Okay. Very cool. All right. So that's kind of what I was looking for, right? Like, I love that. So, to summarize that, you all, it's there are going to be obstacles. And we're just touching on being a parent right now, but like, I would imagine that being a parent, especially a mom, I've only experienced this for 4 months. I do have a 10-year-old. her mother and I are not together, so I can't speak too much on the interaction that I've had with her mom, other than our constant struggle to keep things cordial. But I can speak on the current situation, and that's to say that Mother's Day, it's hard. You're with the child all day, every day, as they're growing up. Once they get old enough and they gain some sort of autonomy and they want to play sports and get out and do this and do that, you're still kind of the head of the household. You're the alpha. I know traditionally society's like men are the alpha of the house, but let me tell you something, that shit is not true. Like, men are like kind of the alpha of like the men are like the alpha of like the like I guess like when you walk through the door, there's like a presence that the man has with any animal in the room, with the one seat in that, there's always that one seat in the living room where it's like, oh, that's dad's chair. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? Or make sure you leave more of the food for dad, because he's going to eat more of the, you know what I mean? Like, there's always that idea of alpha, but then at the end of the night, it's like the man is like, baby, is there anything you need? like the woman, the mom is the alpha because the children are going to always come to them. And so
she holds it down.
She holds it down. And so there's a huge responsibility on you as a mother, I would imagine, because of that. And so to be able to navigate that responsibility, those obstacles that the daily tasks that you have to I don't want to say endure, because I would imagine as a mom you probably enjoy being a mom, but just the daily task, all of that for you and the children, and still be able to take care of your body and have your own goals and aspirations, that is something worth admiring and being inspired by. So well done, Raven, on the parent obstacle. You're a beast. Okay. Like automatic, like just now, for whatever reason, I had like an image of you like being pulled over while I was talking to you. That'd be shitty. That'd be shitty. That'd be
excuse me, I'm on a podcast right now. I can't talk.
That'd be shitty, bro. Oh man. But yeah, okay. So in the way of a parent, you've got that down, no problem. We can see as an audience that that's something that drives you on your journey, right? But there's still that aspect, of course, of the physical part, right? Your knee, some of your loves, your luxuries that you don't want to let go, right? Your extracurricular activities, right? So let's talk about now the challenges in the way of your knee. We'll get to the extracurricular activities later. Let's talk about that now in the way of your knee, because I've got clients who say, I've got some chronic like back issues. I've always dealt with my back. My knee is not right. My ankles, my shin splints. I got clients that'll be like, man, my knee all messed up today. Like one day they're like, I'm good. Next thing they're like, oh, I'm messed up. My shin splints, my ankles, my head hurt, my shoulders.
Okay.
Man, boy. Let me tell you, in the way of service, like when you're providing a service to someone, and because trainers, I don't know if people know this, but trainers, coaches rather, they are we're also like therapists in a sense. Like we listen to you all, and so in saying that, like I learned about 5 new like physical ailments a day from each client. So it's kind of funny, but I wouldn't change it. I really wouldn't.
Well, that's why I come to you, because you're cheaper than a therapist.
Yeah. Yeah,
and I get to work out.
That's right. Therapists they're not cheap. So you get to come to me for that expertise, and then you also get to work on your body and keep things spicy, boy. So that's good too. Yeah. So tell me though about with your knee, because the surgeries that you mentioned earlier, those things don't just go away. Both emotionally and internally, they like physically, like those things don't go away. So tell me, how has that challenged you? How has that stopped or inhibited you reaching your goals? If it has, how have you overcome those obstacles? If things like that.
I mean, like to this day, it's been over a year and a half now, and it's just like some days I will be depressed. because I am not like I used to be. I mean,
Right.
just like I used to be able to like jump up off the ground and take off running. Or I
Yeah.
used to be able to like jump on the soccer field and start playing, and now I have to warm up for a good 15 minutes before I can do that. It's awful.
Oh
I
shit.
mean, and there's times where I was just depressed. But
Yeah.
then working out is what really has helped me.
Right.
And I mean, there are still days that I have. It used to be tell days when you really kick my butt, especially with booty work and stuff and bending in my knee and
Raven, so sorry. So we lost you for a split second. So there's still days when what?
when it'll hurt.
Yeah.
But
Okay. Gotcha. And then you
I
said
mean, it's not.
especially booty work and bending your knee. Booty
Yeah,
work.
squats and booty work.
Yeah.
But like, I mean, it's
Well,
just
we've limited the knee dominant movements because of your knee. But anyway, go ahead. Sorry.
no. I mean, I'm just saying like it's gotten so much better from where we started.
Right.
Like I used to leave and almost be in tears. Not really. I'm just lying.
I'm about to say
But
what?
no, it would hurt though. Like I'd be popping ibuprofen, like just because it would hurt. But now,
Yeah.
like I leave and I'm good.
Okay.
And like if we do a really hard day, the next day it might ache and pop and crack. But that's just life and old. It's fine. It's fine.
Yeah.
But
So, go ahead.
but honestly, it's just because you push me and make me mad and piss me off, and so that makes me want to go even harder.
Hey, that means so you know, because of Raven's particular issue, to me as a trainer, as a coach, it's pretty easy for me to go ahead, just in a way of being safe and accommodate, to limit her knee dominant movements. So we could work on like some isometrics and try and strengthen the quads with limited dorsiflexion. But there are areas that as an individual, I'm not perfect. So there are areas that, as an individual, I can, of course, stand to develop in. And so, I'm not a physical therapist. Those are things that I think a physical therapist could definitely navigate around on a much easier level than I can. For me, it just makes more sense to focus on stabilization. If we do work on any knee dominant movements, having those movements be eccentrically focused or isometrically focused, but really focusing on stabilization, hip focus, and posterior chain focus, and kind of staying away from the more knee dominant movements. Now, with that being said, she's still going to come out of workouts feeling it. And that is because we don't take out some of the more conditioning style exercises, which may involve a little bit of impact. And whether I say, hey, let's change this or not, Raven, like I said, she likes to work hard. So she's going to be like, no, let's do this. If I make her mad, it's over. Hey, if I make her mad, it's over. So it's funny you said it. But that's what I mean about like why it's so fun to train with you, because I know that if I'm like, nah, let's move on from this, you're like, no, fuck that, let's do this, I'm doing this. And it's like there's always going to be a desire to keep me on my toes and try to provide you with something new, provide you with something challenging, because you're going to meet every challenge, no problem. So you know she said, where are we going? So Raven obviously is, she does a great job of kind of like, there are some physical things you all where it really is just a mental thing, and it's emotional, and it's how you respond to them. Can you fight through this irritants, right? Or are you going to let it beat you every workout? You know what I mean? And I think that's a question that Raven has obviously had to ask herself multiple times. And obviously the answer has been, nah, I'm going to fight through this. Why?
Every time.
Because I've done a lot harder things. And I always go back to this as a mother or as a father who watched the mother of his newborn give birth. Okay, I always go back to this. But if you're a woman and you can give birth to a child that comes out of you, you can handle a workout with some knee pain. And I'm not in your body. So, and Raven, you don't have this issue anyway, but I'm not in your body. And so I can't tell you how you feel when you're doing certain exercises that may put you into a little bit more load than you'd like on your knee, on your quadriceps. But I would imagine that is why you're so, you have such a structurally like a mental foundation, the one that you do, because you as a woman have done that. You've done like the hardest shit that you can do.
Oh yeah.
Now I don't know.
We're freaking amazing. Women are freaking amazing.
Hey, I'm with you. Let me tell you something. So when I tore my meniscus back in college, and that meniscal tear actually was a lateral meniscal tear in my left knee, and that actually put me out of playing soccer my senior year. Now that's not what I'm going to get at necessarily, but the tear itself, usually it's about a month, 2 month recovery. Obviously, when you're dealing with the meniscus, lateral and rotational movements are always something that's going to be a little tricky following that. But for me, it was because of immobilization that I developed a blood clot, and so that kind of took me out of playing my senior year, which really. Long story short, I'll tell the story one day, but it put me on the path for fitness. I tore my meniscus last year in March, my right meniscus. And I don't know if it was medial or lateral. I never got an MRI. But, man, I came to work. Raven, I came to work the next day and was just like, y'all, no, what happened? So that day when it happened, you got people that tear their ACL and they go back on the field, on the court to play. I tore my meniscus. I was like kind of limping off, you know what I mean? Because when you, I don't know if you've ever, well, you have, so you know what it's like. But like when I went to go straighten my leg, like it just wasn't happening. Like it was like buckling. So I kind of walked off the court, I walked off the court, the basketball court. Went home that night. My shit was like it was swelling as the night went on. I was icing it and elevating and all that stuff, taking ibuprofen and shit. But the next day, it was bad. I went into work. I'm very emotional when it comes to that stuff, and I was just like, no, I hate this. No, I got to call in. No. My employer didn't want me. He was like, no, you can't do that, blah, blah, blah. So I come in, man, there were like 3 days of me just being pissed off. But emotionally, it affected me like that. And so for the next few months or so, like I was always in my head about it, instead of just being like you and like fucking just like getting after it and doing it and getting back to it and having that goal of getting back to it and, just that mental toughness. And I think a lot of that obviously has to do with me being a man, because I don't experience pain on a I don't experience pain like that. So, when it happened, it was just like, this is the worst thing. No. And so, that's sort of the impact it had on me. At any rate, now emotional pain, I can handle that. Like I can handle that. I've dealt with some shit. But when it comes to physical pain, man, I don't like it. I don't like that shit. So anyway, but so hats off to you as a mom dealing with that. Are you still in the car? Yep. You are still in the car. Obviously, I'm looking right at you. I have her on Zoom, y'all, so I don't know why I asked you that question. Okay, cool. So that was great too. I appreciate you sharing that regarding your knee. You all, it's all about when it comes to physical ailments, acute or chronic. Usually acute are obviously a little bit tougher to get over if you're dealing with it now at a level of 6, 7 or above or something like that. But on that chronic level, if it's something you just kind of deal with, it pops up every now and then. It's always an ongoing thing that you really just have to strengthen and work around. If it's something like that, there's a mental toughness that that develops, and you either let it beat you because you're always feeling this way, or you say to yourself, nah, I fucking got this. Let me tell you, the moment I went to my chiropractor one day and I explained to him my issue with my meniscus, and he was like, he straight up looked at me and he said, just try to walk normally. And he said, just don't think about it as much as you are. Just like try to walk normally. We can work on some stuff with you, but just try to walk normally, be normal. Don't just think about it as you're not trying to be a professional athlete. Just be. And I said, okay. And you know what really kicked me into gear? Him saying that, and then my daughter, my 10-year-old, looking at me and be like, yeah, daddy. She said, walk normal. You got to walk normal, like you said. And so from then on, it was like there was this mental switch. It was just like, oh, I remember like it was almost like immediately after that, my knee felt fine. And it was like, it's such a mental thing. So people can learn from you. They really can. Okay. Okay, cool. So we've gotten past some of the two like very important topics. I want to talk to you real fast about your extracurricular activities. Okay. Because
whatever do you mean?
you know, these are the things that stop people, right? When they have these things that they like to do or like to consume and have issue with moderating that so that they do not inhibit them rather on their path to their goals. And you seem to have gotten this down. Like I said, both times, well, the entire time we've been training, if you have a goal, you push after it and you far exceed your own expectations. So let's talk about your extracurriculars and let's talk about how you overcome those needs, desires, wants, whenever you like.
So I love to drink.
It's not like you're
I'm not an alcoholic.
Yeah, right.
But like on the weekends, I like to drink. I like to have my wine, my beer, my Truly, whatever. It's delicious.
Like every hardworking mom would, I would imagine.
Yes. Yeah. You know, I don't drink during the week unless it's been a really bad week because of that one sitting next to me.
I have not done anything to you. I'm minding my business right now.
So Ruby's gonna be on the podcast. She's gonna be famous. All right, you go ahead.
So I like to partake in the beverages quite a bit. But it was getting really, really bad once COVID hit.
I bet it was.
Yeah.
For everybody.
Yeah. But then, you know, something that you said to me really stuck with me before we did this 3-week challenge, I think it was, I don't know, probably a couple months ago. You were like, think about how much you're going to consume and you have to burn that much that day in calories in your workout. And so ever since then, I'd be like, okay, I'm going to have 4 beers. So that's like 100 calories a piece. So I'm like, all right, I got to burn at least 500 calories today. So, you know, it's all about balance, right?
That's right. I love it. Yeah. So yeah. So obviously though, if so Raven's found a little cheat code here, right? So ideally there's a bit more. Let me first say that I'm not like against people. Like you should have fun. You should enjoy yourself, especially if you have 2 children and you work all day and every week, and you know you should have fun. You should enjoy yourself and treat yourself. If you are on a specific goal, especially if you're someone looking to lose a ton of weight, you want to be a bit more strict about what you're doing. The goal shouldn't be to work out so that you can drink, right? But Raven is in a different position, and so she is not necessarily like enabled, but like she's in a position where she can afford to do that, right? So moderation is always going to be key. And so I would imagine that for any one individual, more than two, if you have a fat burning or weight loss goal, is probably more than moderation. But, I will give that information to clients, and Ravin took that information very well. When you are trying to get to a certain place, if you consume 500 calories in alcoholic beverage, then you are most likely, going to be in a caloric surplus for the day, and not a good one, right? So, because now you've got the food that you've eaten. If you haven't worked out, then you haven't put yourself in a position to potentially have a caloric deficit from your exercise. You probably haven't burned a ton of calories in the day. And so, now you've probably eaten, ideally, a body weight range of calories in the day. And then you've taken in 500 more calories of alcohol or beer, rather. The beer. So I just learned this. The beer itself has like 150 calories, something like that. But the alcohol itself within the beer also has a specific amount of like fat grams to it as well. So people don't see that. They think if you just drink like clear liquor or something like that, or whatever, like just straight liquor, that it's not that bad. But there's also fat to alcohol in general. There's, what I'm saying, there's content to it. So there's always more than what you think you're taking in. But if you're going to have fun and you want to enjoy yourself, you're gonna need to be like Ravin. You're gonna need to push yourself and destroy your body and destroy yourself so that you can do it, right.
Destroy your body again. Not liquor.
Destroy your body so that you can destroy your body, right? No, but really, Ravin may wake up the next morning and she's at her zero gain, right? She hasn't lost, she hasn't gained. She's fine. And if she's had a great week and then she's put herself in a position just one day to be at zero, Raven's going to still see some pretty cool freaking results, especially considering her athletic background, considering her body and its memory to movement and muscle gain and lean muscle mass, her ability to burn fat, her drive mentally. All of that is going to play a huge role. And then if she can also strategically put together her nutrition and her consumption, and around her extracurriculars and things she loves to do, you're just always going to come out on top. Okay. And at the end of the day, Ravin, and you can tell me, it's about a push, it's about a desire, it's about a motivation. So my last question for you here today: what's your biggest motivation?
Honestly, my biggest motivation is just to feel good, to have like the confidence that I used to have. And now, getting older, having kids, it's, you get kind of pushed to the back being a mom, and, and so that's what motivates me. I just want to feel good. I want to look, I'll settle for looking okay. I just want to feel good.
So one thing that Becca will sometimes say to me is that she's like really looking forward to kind of feeling like she has a direction again, feeling like she can start to learn herself again. And I train a lot of mothers, and so they're constantly saying the same thing to me too. They tell me also, you need to be there for her, you need to be there for her, you need to understand your female mother clients, because most likely they're in a position where, or have been in a position where, after they had their babies, who they were internally was put on the back burner, like you just said. And so they have to find themselves. And when they do start to find themselves again, they may be kind of trying to figure some shit out, and so I just, not to say that you're trying to figure, I just kind of it was funny that you said that, because it was like, whoa, that's spot on. I literally have just been hearing that. That's fucking crazy. Okay, cool. Well, Ravin, I must say that you are an inspiration. And
thank you.
While I have my things and people that motivate me on a day-to-day basis. My clients are also motivating factors, and I will say that you are a motivating factor because of your drive, because of your push, and you push me to be the trainer, the best coach that I can.
Oh, you're making me blush.
You ain't blushing. I'm looking at you on the screen. You ain't blushing.
You should have just went with it. They would have thought so.
I know they might have. They might have. But anyway, okay, you all. So this was on the air with Ravin Bryant. A special journey to follow. That's what we'll title it. On the air with Ravin Bryant, a special journey to follow.
So special.
How to be successful amongst all the obstacles. That's a very long title, so I'll figure that shit out. But just a reminder, take after Ravin. Be good to yourself when you have the time, when you have the opportunity, every single day. Be good to yourself. Remind yourself how great you are, how special you are. Remind yourself of your motivators and the things and people that inspire you, and just stay on the path. Stay on the path and stay focused. I promise you, you will come out on top. Okay. All right. You can follow me on Instagram at AustinFTFY. You can follow me on Facebook at AustinZ. Don't forget the dot. Pegram. You can follow me on the Facebook page, the information community page, FTFY Information Community. We put a lot of community-based content on there. There could be lives, there could be posts, et cetera, et cetera. Ravin, do you have any platforms that you want people to follow you on or check you out on or anything like that? I would take that as a no. You can follow Ravin on Instagram. What's your Instagram? What's your IG handle?
I don't know.
You know what your IG handle? Oh my God. All right, type in the mom definitely just came out of Ravin just now. Type
What's
in
that? What's that Insta thing?
Type in Ravin Sample Bryant. That's Ravin with an I, not an E, and you will find her Instagram. When you do, you'll see some videos, ideally, of some of her training journey, and you can go and follow her and kind of keep up with her yourself. Okay, Ravin, thank you very much for being here tonight. I appreciate you tagging along, even though you had to complete your mom duties there at soccer practice. Remy, it was nice to see and talk to you again. Can she actually hear us?
No.
Oh,
yes, she can. Apparently.
Yes, she can. Yeah.
Apparently, we're really loud.
Oh, well, that's
Say hi to
good.
Austin.
Hey, Remy. Hey, I'm glad I'm loud because people need to hear me. I want my voice to travel. That's what it's all about, right? That's that energy I bring. All right. Well, Ravin, you enjoy the rest of your night. You have a great rest of your day or evening or whenever you're listening to this. Much love. Be good to yourself. Talk to you later.
Thanks, Austin.
Bye.